Hey, good morning. I've got an Island Spirit update for those of you on the Freeman Adventures trip departing April the 4th, 6 a.m. departure time. 6 a.m. departure time, and the tackle you're going to need is going to be 4, 6, 8, 10, and 16-ounce torpedo sinkers, 3/0 circle hooks, and then J-hooks, we want you with 1/0, also number 1 and number 4 J-hooks. We are planning on fishing not only deep water cod, but shallow water. Of course, it will depend upon the weather. It looks like we have that window of opportunity where we can get some good fishing in. It's going to be blowing before we leave, then calm, and then blowing on the way home. Check in with me if you are on that trip. If you haven't heard from me, just send me a text right now, 657-227-6459. Getting back to you this afternoon, this Thursday afternoon. Have a great morning. Good Thursday morning, everybody, and welcome to beautiful Surfside, California, where there is not a breath of wind here this morning. It's pretty nice. It's a little bit lumpy out there, but it looks like a gorgeous morning. Not the same in the Channel Islands, where it is still blowing up there in that neck of the woods. Western Outdoor News canceled their trip on the Island Spirit, but we are a go tomorrow. We have a window of opportunity, it looks like. Stay tuned for more on that. The Pacific Voyager, you see him on that roller coaster ride last night. He just got his anchor down at 5:45 this morning. Max Nui is down there fishing cod along the Baja coast. The Independence arriving to Hurricane Bank, 1,000 miles south of us. Halibut biting in San Diego, and a lot more to cover with you. I'm going to get set up and be right back with the morning briefing. I want to say 40 knots. It is nasty.
What's an angler to do in Southern California with weather like this? It's been miserable, and it's still windy today, but Anthony Magdalena perhaps came up with an answer. He said, I'm going to go back in the back bays. I'm going to use some of the Berkeley camo worm gulp, and I'm going to catch some spotted bay bass. Spotted bay bass are a great sport fish here in Southern California. They fight harder than anything you could ever imagine. Pound for pound, they'll put up a real tussle. They're fun to catch and even more fun to release. Nice going, Anthony. It may be windy out, but anglers can still find something to do. Pulling on spotted bay bass in the wind here in Southern California.
Oh, yeah.
I just wanted to put you in the wheelhouse of the Pacific Voyager and Captain Max Nui as they are headed right now down the Baja coast. And you can see there's a little bit of rock and roll going on here this evening. Max is heading down to the Colonette area, and he's going to fish rockfish tomorrow. There's been tremendous lingcod fishing down that way, and we are certainly hoping that Max, his passengers, and the Pacific Voyager have an incredible day. But there's no doubt about it. It is rock and roll tonight as they head down the Baja coast. We'll keep you informed of the very latest, and of course, we'll be checking in with Max and the Pacific Voyager tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
Before we get started on today's morning briefing, don't forget, if you're headed to Ensenada, you're going to want to give Zeke Casas a call. Only 15 minutes from downtown, but just check out that spectacular view while in Ensenada, Baja California Norte. And if that garage door is giving you a problem, then you're going to want to call your garage door man. That's Joe Welker. Tax problems? Nobody better than our friend Tim Marquez. Tim's been doing taxes for 35 years. Give the tax man a call today. And for your heating and or air conditioning needs, you're going to want to talk to our dear friend John Lopez at Efficient Heating and Air Conditioning.
Hey, it is great to welcome you back here to Surfside, California. Thanks for being here. The ocean looks pretty darn nice. There's not a breath of wind, but the further you get offshore, the lumpier it gets, and there's still a lot of wind up in the Channel Islands and several other areas. You know what time it is. It's time for the morning briefing. Good morning, my friends. Oh, is that good? It is so great to be with you all. Thanks for being here. If you don't mind, hit that like button. We deeply appreciate it when you do that. Don't forget to subscribe to the Freeman Adventures YouTube channel. Tick that little bell. You will be notified when there's new content. And of course, you can follow us over on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Apple Podcast, and Spotify. Tomorrow morning, we'll be on board the Island Spirit. Our departure time is 6 a.m. 6 a.m. departure time. I have a short up with regard to tackle. I know I did a live interview with Captain Daniel Hadaway yesterday, and some of the tackle portion was inaudible. So check out that short. I've got it here for you. You'll know what kind of tackle to bring. I would be at the office at 5 a.m. And of course, if anything else changes, I'll let you know. Also, if you're on that trip and you haven't heard from me, check in with me via text. Just send me a text here, and that will be 657-227-6459. If you happen to have a little group with you, I just need one person so we can communicate in case there are any changes. I want to be able to let you know. But we are a go 6 a.m. departure, planning on fishing perhaps deep water rock cut and shallow water rock cut. It will depend upon Mother Nature. Is it still breezy up there? In fact, the Island Spirit had to cancel their Western Outdoor News trip here this morning, but we've got that weather window of opportunity tomorrow. So much to talk about. Let's jump into it with you right away. The Independence is arriving at Hurricane Bay. That's 1,000 miles south of here. Of course, they've had a tumultuous ride down as Chef Ed had to get back to a loved one, so they had to offload Ed onto the Royal Polaris, who was steaming back towards San Diego. They got him home safe and sound. Thoughts and prayers with Ed and his family. Now the Independence is starting to fish, and we're hoping they're going to find some really good yellowfin and wahoo fishing. The Royal Polaris had outstanding wahoo fishing. The yellowfin tuna fishing, while good, was a mess with the sharks. They really got sharked up on that Royal Polaris trip. They had a lot of fish in the 50 to 170 pound class on the Royal Polaris, and had a couple of fish over 200 pounds. So we're going to keep our eyes on the Independence and see how they do down below. They're watching it very, very closely for you all. Down in Mexico, we continue to see some really good yellowtail fishing. At times, there's been yellows all up and down the peninsula. And I'm talking about down in Cabo at Land's End, and then moving up to La Paz, Loreto, and Mulaje, Santa Rosalia, San Quintin, only 140 miles down below the border. And also we've seen some pretty darn good fishing going on in Ensenada from time to time. San Quintin and Ensenada, the staple there right now is rockfish, as the water temps are very, very cool. In fact, when Max Nui put his anchor down on the Baja coast, and I'm not exactly sure where he is. I only think he's down about 60 miles or so, 70 miles perhaps, maybe a little bit further than that. Maybe he's fishing Collinet. As the day plays out, we'll know. But Max told me his water temp was 54 degrees. It is really chilly this year. And of course, not only do we have all this wind, but we also have a La Nina, and that La Nina is keeping our water temperatures really, really cool. Hey, I've got to break in here for a moment because I just talked to Max Nui down the Baja coast. Remember, he was pounding it out on his way down there. He is already catching nice lingcod down there. They're having really good lingcod fishing here this morning. So Max braved the weather, and now his passengers are reaping the rewards of some really great lingcod fishing. We'll keep you in touch with the very latest from the Pacific Voyager as they're putting the hammer down on some nice fat lings. That is why we're seeing more and more anchovy around this year, and all kinds of signals that signal that this La Nina is going to persist. And prognosticators are saying at least into the fall. So it sounds like we're going to have some cool water, no question about it. All right, so we'll keep our eyes on the Independence and Mexico Lindo and see where we go from here. By the way, there is a great event coming up, a CCA event at Bass Pro Shops in Irvine, California. That's going to be April the 10th. A couple of really great speakers. Michael Folks is going to be there talking about his history of sport fishing. I have seen it. I've interviewed Mike. He's a great guy, and he's really put out a masterpiece. And Benji Kim, who's been on the Freeman Adventures YouTube channel also. Benji, of course, is a surf fishing expert. Hey, what's going on? I thought that was you coming.
I see you from like way down there.
What's going on? You gonna catch something?
Yeah, there's
Doesn't
no
look
wind.
that bad.
There's no wind.
It's beautiful, right?
Crazy. I looked out at 5:30 this morning. I'm like, all right, I'm going.
Yeah, catch something. What are you fishing with?
We'll see.
I mean, what kind of bait, or what are you doing?
I'm gonna use the worm again.
Oh, okay, cool. Sandworm?
Yeah.
All right, well, at least you caught some spotted bay bass yesterday. All right, Anthony, right here on the beach, and more people walking by. All right, back to that CCA event there in beautiful Irvine, California. That Bass Pro, Benji Kim, is also going to be there. Benji's a great surf fishing angler. He's a magnificent speaker. I know you're going to enjoy that. So it should be really, really great stuff. Don't miss that very special event. So down the Baja coast, we have been seeing a little bit of activity also in terms of halibut. Now, the Dolphin didn't fish down the Baja coast, but out of San Diego yesterday, they had 7 halibut. And they always have a big one thrown in there, at least one. They had a 22-pound flatfish on that trip. That is one nice fish. They released an additional 5 fish, so nothing wrong with that. In the surf down there, I should say on the pier down there, Imperial Beach, California, check out that nice leopard shark Corey Westcott. Nice going, Corey. Happy to see that. Of course, here in Southern California, we are focused on a few areas. Now, out of San Diego and pushing just a little ways into Mexico, the San Diego's been fishing the Coronado Islands. Of course, during this latest blow, it's been very, very difficult. The winds have been up, it's been nasty, and they haven't been able to get there. On their best day at the islands, they had 8 yellowtail. The yellows at the islands have been taken in a variety of different ways. We've seen them on a flatline bait. We've seen them on a dropper loop rig down on the bottom. We've seen the yo-yo iron down the water column. We've seen the surface iron. We've even seen yellows taken on a fly line bait. It has not been wide open. 8 has been the best day. Some days they get blank, some days they get 2 or 3. It hasn't been wide open, but we are hoping for more and more to come and better progress on that fish. These water temperatures, however, after this blow being so cool, it may take a while for that to get back on the bite again. We'll keep our eyes on that. Hey, I've got to mention to you, Pamela Maglay. Pamela Maglay went to Kiribati in Micronesia, and just check out the wide variety of different species she caught. Micronesia, what a great adventure that had to have been. But the fishing and all of those fish that you see there were only a small part of what made it such a great adventure. Pamela said the people there were so kind and nice and humble, and she said she had a wonderful time fishing in Kiribati. And I know exactly what you're talking about, Pamela. When you travel around the world and you fish, it is so great to meet the people who live in those communities. It is just so nice to see how the other half lives. Let's put it that way, because there's so many great places, so many great adventures out there. I'm not going to exhaust them all before I kick out of here. I'm going to try, but I salute you for that great trip and sharing that with us all. That is really fantastic stuff. Now, we've been catching a lot of sculpin and whitefish, a few halibut here and there. The Native Sun out of 22nd Street Landing in St. Peter's getting set to depart right now. We're wishing all of you, I know a ton of you watch the show, we're wishing you all a really great day out on the water today. Hopefully you're going to come up with some fish. And then again, rockfish season is open. It really has not seemed like it because the weather's been up and nobody's been able to accomplish anything. But once again, we'll continue to watch it for you very, very closely. This is totally fishable here today. It looks pretty darn nice. And we've got high hopes that it's going to calm down up there in the Channel Islands also. And man, I'll tell you, it has been really nasty up there, and it's still blowing in that neck of the woods. The El Patron runs out of Long Beach Sport Fishing, putting new engines in, getting ready for the season. She's going to be making that crossing every single day, leaving Long Beach Sport Fishing, going to Catalina Island, brand new engines, beautiful boat, great galley and crew. You can't beat it. www.longbeachsportfishing.org. All right, we're going to be watching Anthony, and we're not going to be around here while he's doing his thing, but he'll let us know exactly how he's doing, and hopefully this is going to bite. It's going to be very cold water, probably somewhere in that 55, 56 degree range, maybe 57 degrees. All that wind has cooled this down. That tells me we're probably going to be catching bar perch. He said he's going to fish the Berkeley sandworm, the gulp bait, which is really effective. Wayne Shimabukuro loves to fish that down around Bolsa Chica and does quite well. It catches a variety of different fish, from bar perch to yellowfin croaker, corvina. Everything seems to want to bite on that. So we'll see how he does.
And I have a little update from Anthony. About 30 seconds after I left, he caught this small perch. The bite is on in Surfside, California.
Got me a cute little guy. First cast. Phil just left. Missed it by about 30 seconds. It's on, baby.
Here, it's a beautiful morning in perfect conditions for surf fishing. We've seen a few halibut taken. Of course, we're in grunion run season right now. And those grunion coming up on the beach get a whole bunch of other species following them in here. That leopard shark you saw. And we've seen a lot of other great stuff going on. So high hopes that things are going to progress in the right direction. And don't forget about Big Fish Bait and Tackle in the beautiful city of Seal Beach, California. Man, I'll tell you, really great stuff there for you. Not only are they Southern California surf fishing headquarters, but they've got all the tackle you'll need to fish Southern California for bluefin tuna, yellowtail, rockfish, and everything in between. Big Fish Bait and Tackle giving away a free custom surf fishing rod every single month. You just walk in the door, buy the ruler that you need to measure your prize catch with while surf fishing, and you're in the tournament every single month. The species will change, they'll let you know about it, and you are eligible to win that beautiful custom rod. All right, Redondo Beach Rod and Gun Club tonight. Yeah, they got a very special night. Not only because they're a bunch of wacky, crazy guys, they're a lot of fun at the Redondo Beach Rod and Gun Club, but also they are going to have a very special speaker tonight. Captain Ryan from the Pescador from Redondo Sport Fishing is going to be there. So good stuff indeed. Sounds like it's going to be a great evening. Carne asada, tacos, a bunch of crazy guys, and Captain Ryan from the Pescador, he is speaking tonight at 7 p.m. You can see the details there. I don't know if Chuck has the address there because I can't see it. I'm standing on the beach right now. But if you Google Redondo Beach Rod and Gun Club, you get the address, and everybody's welcome. Anybody can show up there at that great event. All right, my folks, really good stuff going on. We're going to continue to watch it for you very, very closely as things have calmed down here on the coast. And I mean by that, the further you get out, it's still lumpy and it's still breezy. And then the further north you go, it's still kind of snotty up there in that neck of the woods. We'll hope Anthony catches a fish here. He's still getting rigged up, so we'll keep our eyes on that. I can see a little bit of bird activity, a few birds picking out there, but not what I'm looking for. Normally what I'm looking for are those white tern birds. They make an awful racket with their chirping as they dive down on bait fish, and it looks conspicuously absent of any kind of activity like that. All right, Native Son looking for halibut, rock cod season. I think we're going to get something accomplished on that here today. The Independence down below fishing. Of course, our trip tomorrow morning on the Island Spirit. Stay tuned if you're on that trip. Send me a text right now. I'll get back to you today, I promise. And also, don't forget, we're going to be watching Max on the Pacific Voyager as he got his anchor down this morning at 5:45. All right, my friends, have a great day. There's lots more to come today, I imagine. Who knows? You just never know in the sport fishing game what's going to happen. Take care, and I hope to see you. Oh, wait a minute. My coffee, man, what am I doing here? Have a great day. Catch some fish. Go for a walk. Get some vitamin D. And I hope to see you really, really soon. Take care, my friends.